All right, here we go. Live solo because I have no clue where Matt is or what he's doing. But alas, here we are. So I'm Justin. I normally I say we're the podcasting dead, but I'm by myself. So I'm the podcasting dead right now. Hopefully having yourself a wonderful Sunday night. Just watched the newest episode of the Tales of the Walking Dead, where we get a little bit more background on Alpha. It was super cool to see Samantha Morton again because I think she's awesome. And it was an interesting episode. I liked it, first off. I enjoyed it. Again, I think Samantha Morton is awesome. And we get to see a little bit more of kind of what she went through and how she got to the Whisperers. And I'm not going to lie, I thought the ending of the episode was pretty dope. I was like really anxiously awaiting, like, who is she talking to? And I think it's pretty cool that we see where her mask came from and, you know, learn that she got that from the original, I guess, Alpha of the Whisperers. But pretty ruthless, kind of really going into her and Lydia's relationship. And we can see that she really does love her daughter. But she's just got a very, you know, before she even got with the Whisperer, she's got a very twisted view of the world. I almost feel like, I don't know, like it's cool to see that that she didn't start the Whisperers, but with her warped, you know, I thought like she started the Whisperers and we were going to get like, you know, the degradation of like her brain and how she came to think the way she did. But then we see that she just already was twisted. And then when she, I guess, you know, we don't see it, but once she got introduced to this philosophy of a life, it just fit her mentality so well. That's why she just jumped right into it and became the new Alpha. But the boat thing was pretty interesting because I actually had walked out the room and then, of course, it started. And I came back in a few minutes later and my fiance was like, I think they're on a boat. And it looked like modern, but so it was interesting. Drago says he liked who she became more than she seemed to be. Yeah, and actually, I've been chilling this Sunday. Normally, Sunday is like a chore day, but I've been chilling watching old episodes of The Walking Dead with Alpha in them just to get ready for this episode. And I can totally agree with that. I think I like Alpha, like who she was or who she is more than who she became. But good episode. I want to know what you thought. Let's see. Did they ever mention in the comics how the Whisperers came to be? Not that I remember, to be completely honest with you. Not that I remember. I'd have to go back and read, but I don't think so. But I have to check. Yeah, Liquor Beaver says the same thing. Not that I recall in the comics. Yeah, I don't remember them mentioning like the history of or how the Whisperers came to be. You just, I'd always assumed that Alpha started it, because it was like her warped view that, you know, it seemed like they were carrying out. But now we know in the show, at least, that's not the case. And like I said, I thought that ending was cool because I kept wondering, I thought she was going to be like talking to, I don't know, Sadiq, you know, before letting him go or something like that. But alas, it was the original leader. I thought too that when the mask came off of, or when they found her, like her friend that she cut up was going to end up being like the leader of the Whisperers. Like, there's no way this woman's had enough time to go off and form a cult this strong. In just a little bit of time, they've been separated, but it was somebody different. And we see, you know, Alpha's got a thing apparently for wearing blondes because the leader of the Whisperers, she took her face and it was a blonde. And then you know, when she killed those people on the side of the road to get into the fair, it was a blonde. So she just really likes blonde wigs apparently. But yeah, I'm anxious to hear from you, and especially without Matt here, it's going to be hard for me to hold a conversation by myself. So let's see. Face cut was an Andrea comic callback. Yeah. Yep, Andrea had that gnarly scar on her face, you know, throughout the, well, when did she, Liquor Beaver, refresh my memory. At what point in the comics did she get that scar? Because I remember, you know, I know it was pretty prominent towards the end there, but I can't remember how long into the, I know it was a little ways into the comics before she got it, right? Let's see. Donkosaurus Rex really not feeling this one. Sorry, guys, just can't do it tonight. I've known too many people like Alpha. They hate anyone who aspires to do anything worth a damn in life. I never really got that from her in the previous episodes. But this episode was just revolting. No desire to talk about it or ever see this trash character again. Man, some really strong feelings there from Donkosaurus Rex. Also saying Alpha was a villain, but she was just trash before she was Alpha. Man. Elijah Wilson says, "Sup, Justin? Sup, Elijah? How you doing?" The Governor arc. Okay. As far as talking about when Andrea in the comics got her scar. Do you want to know how I got this scar? And remind me to kill Matt. I'm thinking Matt fell asleep or something. So, somebody remind me to kill Matt the next time I see him. Well, let's see. But anyways. So yeah, light the comments up. I see there's a few people in here. Let me know what you thought. Give me something to conversate about. Otherwise, it's going to be a really short podcast. Man, is my eye getting that red? My allergies have been killing me this last 3 or 4 days. So my eyes are itching, and so bear with me. Liquor Beaver says Matt's probably just got the shits. Yeah, but the thing about Matt and the shits is Matt don't go anywhere without his phone. So I highly doubt he would set his ass to a toilet seat without the phone in his hand. Let's see. 1 second. I'm sending one final message to him to see if he's up. All right. So, anyways, the show must go on. Drago says, I like the flashback. Gives you a different perspective to view the main show. I know, that's why I'm really holding out hope that we'll get more of these and we'll get one with the governor. I think that would be dope. I would love to see the governor come back and kind of see his TV show rise to being the governor. Which, if you haven't read the novel Rise of the Governor, which granted that follows the comic governor, not the show governor, but it's certainly worth reading. The ending is kind of stupid, and I don't want to spoil it for you. But aside from the ending, the book itself is freaking fantastic. And then that series goes through it's got another one, and then you got the Fall of the Governor Part 1, the Fall of the Governor Part 2, and they pretty much somewhere in the middle there tried to, because a lot of people got mad in the comics that a no-name character killed the governor, in the comics versus one of the main characters. So they, I guess in these novels, were tying them in with the comics and trying to give some background of the character that killed him. But the ending of the first book's kind of stupid, but it's still great. Her book is good, and then the Fall of the Governor Part 1 and 2 are really good. After that, they start to get kind of crap because they just continued on. Jonas Billilli, what stood out to you in this episode? How kind of frail Alpha looked. I mean, it could just be that Samantha Morton's lost weight since her previous time as Alpha, but it really stood out to me how frail she looked. And then also someone helped me out here as to why she blames that woman for taking everything away from her daughter. I mean, because keep in mind, when I'm watching these, I have a 3-year-old that is not the quietest of children. So there is some dialogue that sometimes I don't catch, but I wasn't quite sure as to why she was straight up blaming this lady when she cut her face. Today is Michael Myers' birthday. Happy birthday, Michael Myers. Please don't kill anyone. Elijah Wilson says, what if Beta, being the way we know him during the Whisperer arc, ran into the group on the rooftop back in Atlanta? That'd be dope. And that's one that they need to do too. We got alphas and we've had, just strangers up to this point. And the strangers are cool, but what I really was interested with this series was the background of, all the history of some of the characters we've gotten in the show. So while I do enjoy them, I've got to say I want to see more of these. I like to see one of Beta. Let me adjust my camera just a little bit here. Let's see. I'd like to see one of Beta. First off, I would love to see his background. I'd love to see the governor's background. And answering my question here, Liquor Beaver says she promised her a party that wouldn't be happening, I'm guessing. We need an Abe one. Yes, we do. I would love for the Abe one to pick up right after. So in their show, remember, we see Abraham meet Gosh, I'm tired and my eyes hurt. Eugene out in the parking lot when he's just about to kill himself and then he saves Eugene. I would love for them to do like a backstory on them, but have it pick up like start with that scene and then just keep the scene going. I think that would be freaking awesome. Drago says, "Do you think Alpha could have taken over the Whisperers without big old Beta?" I mean, I don't know. I was kind of hoping we would like at least see Beta standing there. I mean, I don't know if they would have went and cast the actual actor for that, but at least have had like a tall stand-in to be like that's him. But I don't know. I mean, she's pretty ruthless. I mean, I feel like she could have definitely risen to power on her own. But with that said, I definitely think having Beta there to back up everything she was doing definitely helped. Let's see, Rosita too. She learned some things over the years. Yeah, I'd love to see Rosita. I'd love to see a lot of them actually. So yeah, I really do hope with this. I know that that's pretty much it, right? As far as the background stories, because I think it was just Alpha, as far as I'm aware. So this is episode 3. The next 3 will be strangers, unless I haven't, But so I do hope they keep this going. But my hope is that they will, you know, incorporate doing more background stories. But I don't know, Jonas, what stood out to you, man? Like, what about to Jonas Balili? What on this episode stood out to you? Um, the boat thing was very interesting to know that they were like on a boat, and maybe being that it's in a swamp, that. Which, did it say where they were? I didn't catch like the first 3 or 4 minutes, but we've always kind of laughed at her. So would that be so? What kind of accent would she have? It's just real slow and southern. But, maybe that's just like she's from Mississippi out on the, Louisiana, which I'm from Louisiana. So let's see. Look at Beaver says also we need a background story on Tara because she's hot. Yeah, Tara is very attractive. Alana Masterson is a very, very pretty lady. Let's see. Her noticing the guy with the mirror jumped out. Very observant. Yeah, she is very observant. And then they didn't believe her. And then it's that guy's whole philosophy was stupid. I think you're too nice. Even though we got this big boat and we could probably easily fit 6 more people, I'm just going to have to bring my people on here and kill 6 of you so that they can work their way in. And then I'm going to take control and make the hard decisions. And then what about the dude bitching out on that girl, man? The girl that was like, he's like, kill her, she doesn't do her chores. It's like when your parents are mad at like you and your siblings, and it's like one of you is getting a whooping, and you're like, it's her, it's her, she doesn't do her chores. Elijah Wilson, I think Alpha brainwashed Beta. Yeah, but we see from Beta's mental state, he probably wasn't that hard for her to brainwash. I think Beta was in a pretty, that's why I would love to see his background story, because Beta seemed to be very out there, very just not in reality. So, which we did kind of see their meeting, we saw her and him and how they met and all that in the main show. But I'd like to go back and see Beta before that. I guess because he was in a psychiatric home or something to that effect. Jonas Balili says nothing stood out to be fair. It felt like a rerun of Meeting Beta episode when they traded Lydia at the hilltop. Let's see. I wish we had something different or new instead of saving Lydia again. Yeah, and that's funny you say that, because that's the episodes I was watching today. Like I watched basically from the beginning of Alpha up to, where did I stop before the episode came on? I stopped right at the episode where Daryl and Beta fight. Like that, right before that fight scene is where I had to cut it off to switch over to the Tales of the Walking Dead. But I'll tell you what, going back and rewatching, because I've always said, right, like, so those of us who've watched The Walking Dead for a very long time, and I mean, I love the show, so I'm not downing it in any way, but it started to feel slower as the show progressed. And at least that's most of the people that I personally know that I talk to about the show have said that. They're like, man, I still love it, but like it feels like it's gotten really slow. And that kind of really started, I feel, thinking on it. It really started feeling that way, dragging the Negan saga out. But then after that, it just felt like they tried to drag everything out. But I've always said, but does it feel slow to us because we watch them a week apart? Because I have a buddy that I used to work with at radio station, and he watched The Walking Dead, but he never watched it on TV. Like, what he did was wait until it came out on Netflix and then just binge the whole season. And he's like, I've not found it boring at all. I think it's been awesome. And so sometimes I wonder, do we consider it slow because we wait so long between, a week between episodes, or, is it actually gotten slow? Which I think it's a little bit of both, to be completely honest with you. But anybody watch the new Game of Thrones premiere? I liked it. Oh man, let's see. But I'm with you, Jonas. I do wish we had something, I don't know, new, different. But then again, they try to do something slightly different with the time loop slash shared delusion episode, and everybody hated it. So I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. But yeah, so I don't know. I agree with you. But I don't know really at this point. The show's been going on so long too. I just don't really know what they could do to freshen it up. It's like the final episodes. I'm so worried that they're going to be. Is anybody else super worried about the final episodes being extremely underwhelming? Like I think I'm really worried that they're going to be very underwhelming. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's see here. Doing a little sound editing while I'm doing this. I did not like the part when Dee called Lydia to hide underneath the walker. They would have gotten sick. Dude, I'm with you 100%, Jonas. I've been saying that since, well, I know like the first time I really took notice to how loose they are with what works and, what infects you or not was when Rick in Alexandria, the episode where Deanna's husband gets killed and they shoot the guy in the head, and then Morgan shows up and it's like, Rick. But the time I really noticed that was when Rick had that walker on top of him and he rips his throat out, and the walker's basically just pouring blood from his neck into Rick's like open mouth. And I'm like, man, they are really like, I mean, it's almost as if saliva is the only thing that will infect you, because I thought any chemical, I don't know. Just I'm with you, but then again, I don't know. The whole virus transfer in this show is weird. We've had some fans like really debate in the comments as we like discuss it, because I'm like, okay, so everybody has this virus, whatever it is, and when you die, like the way it's triggered is when you die, you come back as a walker. Okay, fair enough. But then if you get bit by a zombie, then that kills you. And I'm guessing the reason would be because dead bodies have so much bacteria. I don't know. I'm really not sure how it works in this show, to be completely honest. I mean, I would certainly think a bunch of guts and blood in your face. Forget even a zombie virus, just having a dead body pouring its juices onto you. If you have any open cuts, any wounds, that's going to be a serious infection. But I've always said that I thought the way you get infected in this show, like it's like a blessing and a curse. The whole we're all infected already is a great plot twist, and it definitely shakes things up. But it also makes it a lot more confusing because typical zombie movies or shows, the zombies bite you. The virus they have goes into the bite. It then infects you, and you turn into a zombie. Makes perfect sense. But then when you consider we all have it, then it's like, so what's the zombie bite doing? Is it just giving us a nasty infection? I don't know. I've always thought that it was confusing as shit. Elijah Wilson. I wish Glenn wouldn't have died. A part of me, even though I did enjoy the Negan stuff. I mean, it was, season 7 was dreadfully drawn out. Like season 7 and 8 should have just been season 7. Season 7 should have been season 7A, and season 8 should have been season 7B. But my allergies are deciding to kick in right here before bedtime. Fantastic. But no, I wish Glenn would. I feel like even though I like the Negan stuff a lot, I do feel like a part of the show died with Glenn. Dragos, the only way for them to go out on top is major character death, which we know isn't happening because there's like 100 spinoffs. I've said it before, which I didn't have the original thought. One of our listeners did, I think. But yeah, I don't know, man. I would not be shocked if these spinoffs were not happening because here's something to remember. And when The Walking Dead comic ended, right? So if you don't read comics, the way it works is at the end of a comic, you have previews of the next few months episodes, like excuse me, issues. I'm getting sleepy, y'all. To where like you look in the back of the comic and it'll show you like the next 3 months or so's like comic covers. So you like see what's coming up. And in the next to last episode of The Walking Dead, they did that. They had these covers. So everybody thought it was business as usual. And then when the next one came out, it was the last issue ever of The Walking Dead. So they had just made up and promoted these issues that were never going to come out. And granted, it seems like they've put a lot of work into the Isle of the Dead, which is now like what, Dead City or something. They've changed the title of it, the Maggie Negan spinoff. But I've still thought, wouldn't it be interesting if like they actually were like, going all out trying to make us think that certain characters were safe because we're not going to see it happen that they die. Like we just are like, what? No. But they've put so much effort into them now that I'm starting to believe it's definitely more than a ruse. Do you think the first alpha allowed rape? Indeed, did not like that and had to kill the whole group that was shown at the end of the episode? Maybe, but in the comics, Alpha was all down for the rape. Like no kidding, man. Like Negan was very against rape. That was against Negan's rules. He did not allow any kind of rape. But in the comic books, Lydia actually was a victim of rape, which I'm probably getting flagged or getting in trouble now for saying that. So I don't know. Maybe I should just do this to cover myself if I have to use that word again. In the comics, like Lydia was getting by other whisperers, and it was like Alpha's like, well, it's the survival of the fittest, you've got, she's got, it was pretty twisted actually. I see why they didn't touch that in the show. So in the comics, Alpha was perfectly fine because she thought that people were animals, and like animals don't ask permission. They just jump on top of each other and start humping. So she didn't see anything wrong with each other. But let's see. Being halfway through Tales of the Walking Dead, does it meet your expectations thus far? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, first and foremost, I thought it was just going to be filler between, we had The Walking Dead, and then that ended, and then Fear the Walking Dead came out. Now we've got this. They're just trying to keep us hooked in until the final, episodes show up. And I didn't have high expectations for this show. Like I don't think it's been bad. It's been what I thought it was going to be, which was just some Walking Dead filler. Hey, we're going to give you a backstory here and there. That's what I was most excited for. I thought they were going to do more backstories, but once we started seeing like previews of it and realized it was a bunch of characters we never met, I was like, okay, so it's just going to be like little one-off stories. So yeah, I'd say it's met my expectations. And I guess Matt did go to sleep because I've not heard back from him. If next time Matt's on here, let's just not tell him because I don't think he'll watch this all the way through. The next time Matt's on here, everyone should just start chiming in and be like, wake up, douche. Just so he can be like, what is everybody talking about? But yeah, and for you retro Walking Dead fans out there, the ones that have enjoyed Jesse and I's retro reviews, we've been back on the ball with that. We had 2 episodes this week. There's another one coming out tomorrow, and we're going to start doing 2 a week. I think we said Monday and Friday. Whatever the days are, we say it in tomorrow's podcast. But so the retro Walking Deads are up and moving. If we can keep a pace of 2 a week, we'll get through the seasons a whole lot faster. I mean, if we somehow can get to where we can get together and podcast twice a week, because actually I held on to like a couple of them, and then posted one on Monday, one on Thursday, and then one's coming out this Monday. I think we're going to do Monday and Friday going forward. So then it's like, we really only have to podcast once a week to keep up that 2 a week schedule. But if we can get together twice a week, then we can start doing 3 a week, which would be fantastic. Then we would roll. My God, in the next like 2-3 months, man, we'd be in like season 4. Let's see. Jonas says, I thought it was going to be formatted like Tales from the Crypt with a narrator. Oh, that would be awesome. Tales from the Crypt was my jam. I remember my dad watching that when I was little and not being allowed to watch it with him at first, but then he would let me sit in there and watch it. And then they had like a kid's version of Tales from the Crypt. So I love Tales from the Crypt. It would be dope. Well, we did have a narrator this episode, right? We had Alpha narrating it, explaining her past to the face of the previous Alpha. And I'm guessing this would be like right after she killed Alpha. But what was it? Let's see. Go back up. Liquor Beaver says Sam got some cans. 4.5 out of 5. Uh, and that's why Beta was probably simping so hard for Alpha. He was, Samantha Morton's awesome though. I'm gonna say that. Like, love or hate the episode, Samantha Morton back on the show was freaking awesome because she's if you watch any of her other work, man, she's a very underrated actress. I mean, I think people respect her and know she's a good actress, but I mean, she's fantastic. She's a really good actress. And even if you didn't like Alpha's accent, you got to remember, like, she's not Southern. And at the end of the day, her Southern accent was okayed by a director, and casting people. So, she was just pretty much doing what she was told. But I mean, like, I've met people who talk like that. Usually people who talk like that, though, are more like, they talk like this, really high pitch and a little bit faster. They don't really draw it out so much, but yep, Matt fell asleep. Literally text him at the beginning of the episode. Well, text him earlier to say, you're podcasting tonight, right? He said, yep. Text him at the beginning of the episode. You're watching the episode, right? Yep. Then says, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I dozed off. Come on, Matt. What are you doing, man? Commitments, when you make them, you got to stick to them. But anyways, oh, there he is. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
We're just gonna start calling you no. We're just gonna start. You don't even have your headphones in yet.
I plug them as we speak.
We'll start calling you no show dubs. How about that?
I like the sound of that.
It's becoming a trend with Matt.
All the things are happening in the world of dubs.
Things are happening in everybody's world.
Big.
I'm running on 3 hours of sleep right now. I don't want to hear it.
I don't know how you stayed up that late.
And I don't know how I got up that early, but alas, here I am.
I don't know. What you smoking?
Nothing. Just sticking to my commitments. At this rate, man, it's going to end up being like, I don't have a job anymore. I just kind of forgot and didn't show up.
I wish. Wasn't I supposed to do something today, this Monday?
Well, what's so bad, Matt, is I text you at the beginning of the episode and said, are you watching the episode? You said yes. Then you say, I forgot and dozed. I mean, I literally texted you like an hour ago.
I closed my eyes for I closed my eyes for like 5 minutes, like waiting for you to give me the link. I'm like, oh my gosh. I wasn't awake. I was dreaming.
Elijah Wilson says, wake up, motherfucker.
I know. I feel so bad.
Jonas Spillilli, just to continue, it says, Samantha Morton saved the episode for me. Yep, she's amazing. I tune out when I see characters in an episode that are too dramatic. Lydia was over the top for me. Yeah, she was kind of like really into it. Matt, what did you think about the episode, or were you awake for the whole thing?
I was awake for it. I thought it was going to be like, I thought they were going to do it all in one go. Is it going to be a 2-parter?
No, I think we just, it's just left. We just, she stumbles upon the Whisperers. We see who their alpha was, and we learn that she got her mask from the original alpha. And I think that was just pretty much it. It's just up to our imaginations how she got in and ascended the ranks.
All right, I felt like they were kind of like leading on. There's going to be another part to it.
I thought that too, because I thought we were going to see her like get into the Whisperers, and I think that's probably Probably the only disappointment I have with the episode, because I didn't mind it. I thought it was a pretty decent episode, but probably the main thing that I didn't like about it was that I thought we were going to see her get into the Whisperers, and then when it ended, I just wasn't expecting it to end there. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah, it was kind of abrupt for me.
A little bit. I was expecting more, but or more of like her and the Whisperers and the backstory, but I thought it was still pretty good.
It's like we learned like she was effed up from like even as a kid. Like what she said, like I killed my dad when I was 9.
What's up with you and killing dads, Alpha? I killed my dad, so it was only fair, Lydia. I killed your dad, but he was your husband. Tradition, honey. Have you heard of it?
I'm sorry. 1 second. Let me close the door before Ashley gets on my case.
All right, he's gone. We can talk shit about him now. But no, Jonas, I agree with you 100%. I think Samantha Morton saved the episode. I think she's awesome, and I know they're not going to continue these, but I do hope that they somehow make an exception to bring her back. I would love to see more of that. Let's see. Where in the U.S. was this episode? I think I would assume Louisiana, Mississippi. I mean, Virginia is like one of the final states coming into the South that doesn't have alligators that we know of, to my knowledge.
Plenty of alligators out in Wyoming.
I'm not going to say that there's not alligators in Virginia, but I guess what I mean is like when you get down south, like North Carolina has several places with swamps and alligators, and then Georgia certainly has swamps and alligators, and Florida definitely does. But I would assume Louisiana, Tennessee. Matt, did they say at any point where this was supposed to be at?
I didn't notice any mention of location.
Location. My allergies are kicking back in again. The generic Walmart stuff ran out. It did good today. And side note, yesterday I had taken the generic Walmart allergy medicine. Then your wife gave me a Sudafed. And for some reason, towards the end of the gender reveal party we were at, I started getting really freaking sleepy. Like like I'm not going to make it home sleepy. And I was like, you know what? I bet it's because I combined those two. Went home, took me a little nap, was good to go.
You looked like you were hurting yesterday.
Oh, it sucks. I mean, it's starting to get back now like it was yesterday, but this whole day I've been fine until like halfway through this episode. My eyes started watering, my nose started running. What did you all think about the bartender? I thought he was kind of stupid, and I thought his motives were stupid. That's what I was talking about before you jumped on, Matt. I said his plan seemed really stupid because like he had 6 friends he wanted to bring along on this cruise. So rather than just be like, yo, I got these friends, they'd be great additions to the group. They're hard workers. They'd contribute. It's like, I'm going to kill 6 people to make room for them. And then I'm going to let you stay in charge, but I'm going to make the hard decisions. I mean, it seems like he was obsessed with the leader. Like, I think he, had the hots for her, but
she wasn't too bad looking.
I thought Alpha getting, I still don't quite, maybe you do, Matt, understand why Alpha was so mad at that chick afterwards and like cut up her face and stuff. It's like, I'm sorry, she didn't ask to be invaded. I mean, I guess the way she looks at it, the woman didn't listen to her when she saw him with the mirror. And then those people took over the ship and all that shit happened. So maybe that is what she was referring to. But I just thought, I don't know, some character motives were a little off in this one.
Yeah.
What did you think about them hiding in the walker's body like that? I mean, you're from Wyoming. I'm sure you've hidden it under.
I've had to. Yeah, there's been times. Before. There's been times in really cold winters there I've had to do that with the local wildlife.
It's cold. Yeah, I mean, it gets. How cold does it get in Wyoming?
It can get in the like negative 40s. I think the coldest I've been is negative 30, but it can get like if you're real up in, yeah. It's miserable.
If it gets down to single digits here, it's like record setting. Like it'll be on the news and shit. I mean, we get down into the teens sometimes, but usually it's like a day or two.
In the history textbooks for future generations to learn.
And it got into the negative. It gets into the negative 40. So I'm sure you have been like, I'm 100 yards from the house. Oh no, flash freezing. Come here, elk. I need to sleep in your body until I can get home in the morning.
I killed my dad when I was 9.
Your mom's like, "Where's Matt? Did he come in tonight?" Oh no, there's a dead elk in the yard. Okay, he's good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'll be in the morning.
I mean, Wyoming's not real, but Colorado, basically.
Yes, exactly.
But talk about the episode. You joined in a little late, so tell us about the episode.
I know.
What were your thoughts?
I thought I was awake, but it turns out I was dreaming. I opened my eyes like, wait a second, that was a dream. Oh, fuck the podcast.
Please tell me you at least dreamed about the podcast. So maybe somewhere out
Dude,
there.
I don't even know. It's one of those things like where you think you're awake, but you're really not.
I know.
Yes, we did a lot of that today. I about had a heat stroke. Oh, hey, it's Rob.
Yeah, it was your brother. Yeah, that's Matt's identical twin brother, by the way. Which one's the cooler twin?
It depends on how you look at it, but objectively, Robert.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I feel like Rob's a little smoother. Rob's got a much.
It's Robert.
To be an identical twin too, like y'all don't sound anything alike. Like Rob's got like a deep voice and just total different speech pattern than you do.
Hey guys, it's me, Robert.
That just sounds like you with a cold.
Anyone got some Sudafed?
Yes, your wife does. So yeah, Matt bought a house and is moving. Exciting times, but moving and house buying sucks balls.
It's terrible.
Once you finally get into the house, but that whole process of buying it, which y'all moved pretty quick on that one, so that's pretty awesome. But
like literally, it started like Wednesday, and Brad's calling us at like 11 o'clock last night, saying, "Yeah, they accepted your offer."
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
so when are we gonna have to start moving stuff, or are you getting a U-Haul? Well, are you getting movers, or are we gonna have to move some stuff?
Hey, I know somebody with the world's finest trailer we could borrow.
That's true. Yeah, because I told Caitlin, I was like, I owe Matt quite a bit of favors when it comes to moving furniture. So I'm fully prepared to return the favor.
That's still TBD, but I mentioned, hey guys, it's me. Hey guys, it's me, Robert.
I would love to hear Robert's impression of you.
Hey Siri. I don't know if I told Rob that story about when we were hiking and you were trying to lock my phone. Just like, yeah, just try doing see if it recognizes like just make an impression of my voice. Hey Siri, it's Matt.
Said, hey Siri, it's me, Matt.
Yes,
hello, Matt. Welcome back, Matt. Oh, but no, good episode. Enjoyed it, but alas,
did they say how Alpha got onto the little carnival cruise
Willie?
there? Yeah.
No, I don't know. That was odd too, man. They were doing like aerobics and shit.
Yeah,
but like
that's like a real carnival cruise there.
Because I wasn't sure. I came in a few minutes late. I wasn't sure. I thought this was like back before. I was like, okay, so she was on a cruise with the really, like modern setting there, and then the apocalypse happened. But then like there were zombies out there. Because when she saw the zombies or the person standing out there, I thought that was like her first zombie sighting. And then it was like, nope, they're just taking a cruise through the apocalypse and doing aerobics while they're at it. You got to stay in shape though during the apocalypse, man. You can't let yourself go.
This is why, like, I will be the first to die.
Yeah, we've joked about that. We say that now. Matt's one request if the apocalypse happens is that I just immediately look at him, shoot him in the head. He'll thank me.
It's a kill of mercy.
But then the way it's going to work is the apocalypse happens. I'll be the first one to die in the dumbest way possible. And Matt will be like the Rick Grimes of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, follow me.
Hey. To savior.
I will say D escaping the boat was badass. Slit throat, bang, gunshot, dive into the bayou, dodge bullet, save Lydia. Reminded me of a 2000s movie. Yeah, her coming up and slitting that dude's throat was badass. Then she cut up her friend. Now every time you see that scar, You'll think of how you failed my daughter. Well, I'm sorry, Alpha. It's the apocalypse. I don't spend much time looking in mirrors, so joke's on you.
Why are there scratches on your back?
I like this hat.
No,
Scratches on it were on the front.
no, Pope, no.
That's Matt's favorite character.
That's the spinoff we all deserve.
Like I said, too, it just cracks me up. It's so sad that when you find out like that guy had always wanted to be on The Walking Dead, and that's what he got cast as, Pope. It'd have been like, man, you could have just cast me as a zombie. Like, I'd have been cool with that.
So what was Alpha like? Was she just like a janitor the whole time?
That's pretty shit, man. Like the world ends. You get on a boat, and then your job is to be the janitor. And they even
Dude,
made her
the
wear like a.
apocalypse. Yeah,
I want
a
to know who in
jumpsuit.
the apocalypse was like, all right, you're going to be our janitor, and you have to wear a janitor uniform.
This is bullshit. The world's ended, and I still have a bullshit dead end job.
I mean, I totally understand. Like, hey, everybody's got to pitch
Needs a
in.
defined
Everyone's got to
role,
do the
yeah.
part. Like, I get it. But like, even if somebody's job was to be the janitor, did they have to wear the janitor outfit in the apocalypse? Like, what are you doing? Just wear whatever you want, man. We just need you to like clean the boat.
Yeah, keep it tidy, man.
Cut out the silverware. I guess they were into like class society. And did I hear wrong, or was Alpha in a relationship with that girl?
Now that
Because she said something about like Lydia asked such and such and such, and then she also asked about us. So I don't know. That kind of confused me. Are y'all excited for next week's episode? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Matt, are you just bursting from the seams with excitement?
are they like? Is it like I'm gonna be like with the CDC stuff?
I don't know. It's like a guy and a girl. That's all I know. It's like he's in a cabin or something, and she's like, "Help!" And then like there he is.
I thought they were referring to like some test subject zombies or something. I don't know. I don't know if I heard them correctly.
You guys know the walkers are going to start opening doors and climbing fences and walls again. They need to, man. They did in the beginning when Frank Darabont was directing the show. Like the zombies would like have slight little flickers of themselves. Like they would try to open doors and they could climb fences and attempted to climb ladders and stuff. And now they're just like, I mean, like at this point, they're so decayed, they can't weigh more than like 40 pounds. It's like not even a challenge. There you go.
I always like when they bleed.
Do you think that why? Because dead bodies wouldn't have blood?
Well, not usually.
I was gonna say I don't know.
It'd be very congealed.
Well, doesn't the blood once your heart starts pumping, doesn't gravity just take your blood? So like, wouldn't their blood technically be all like in their legs?
Congeal. Yeah.
Why is your head bleeding? Because like if you die laying on the ground, then all of your blood and stuff congeals and just kind of settles on the bottom down there. It's what I've read. But then like if they're up and walking, but their heart's not pumping, then wouldn't all the blood just like move to the bottom of their body, like at their feet and their legs and stuff?
That's it. I can't suspend my disbelief anymore.
Oh, my heavy zombie legs. Too much blood.
I will believe everything except that.
Maybe that's why they stopped running after season 1. Like all the congealed blood in their legs. They're like, shit, this isn't as easy as it was before the rigor mortis.
I don't even have lungs. How am I making noise?
That's something I've thought of too. It's like the lungs aren't even functioning. Don't you have to like breathe in air in order to exhale air to go over your vocal cords and make sounds?
That's it.
I find it interesting too that when they film these, the zombies are, the zombie actors are told not to make any noises. So the zombie sounds are thrown in editing. So like imagine acting the scene and these zombies are coming up to you like making these noises. It's just like,
it's worse than I thought. They're mime zombies.
Have you boys seen them zombie cicadas? Looking at that.
I have not.
I haven't.
I think I have.
I've seen
this
like
where the fungus
takes over, like
I think that's what Rob's referring to.
Like worms, sometimes like worms get into these like praying mantises and things like that. I hate to steer from this episode, but have you listened to John Bernthal's podcast with Lori? They share some behind the scenes of Frank Darabont's firing. Yes, I did listen to that. It was really good. It was really good because I mean they did Frank Darabont dirty. I mean he did all of season one, and you know it just got this huge following because it was I mean season one. I'm not gonna lie though. As much as I do love season one, and I think Frank Darabont would have killed it if he would have continued with the show. Season one's got some of the most cringe in it of all. Go back and watch season one to like now. Some of the things are just it's kind of cringe, but in a good way. It was also like 12 years ago. But all right, this one's for you, Matt. Do you think that the Reapers could have beat Beta in a fight? Beta would have been like, I don't like that V formation.
I was
I'm
gonna
out.
say, like, I know like Alpha was really good at steering zombies. Like I don't know if their V could be tight enough for how they had their the zombie formation with Alpha and Beta.
That's true. It really just it really would just depend on if she had like her horde with her or not. But I've got an affiliate now with the channel that is sending me something that we're gonna show on the podcast. So
Oh, we're doing that tonight?
No, I don't have it yet. It hasn't come in, but when it does, I'm gonna put it like right here, right in this area behind my head, which I'm gonna have to reposition my camera. But
yeah,
it'll be cool.
Old J-Lo got himself a little Spencer.
Well, what's bad is, man, like now I'm realizing how dumb I've been the whole time because I do not check the Podcasting Dad's email as much as I should. And like going back through, there have been, I mean, I could show you at least 5 or 6 other like affiliate attempted emails from companies or from organizations that have tried to jump in, especially back when this channel used to get more than like 11 views, back when we could get 10, 20, 40,000 views pretty easily, and I thought it was spam. Like, go on, robots. But alas, you live and learn. Michael Myers says, have you ever shot a gun before? Yes.
Have I or have either of us?
I guess just have either of us.
Does the Sky pistol count?
No, Matt, you're a pistol virgin. Matt, if anyone tells you a Sky is a good gun, they're not your friend.
It is not.
Mean you harm. Matt would have to pay me to take that gun off his hand.
Wow,
so yes,
$20 for a gun?
And we both own a few. Jonas, what do you think made Dee go to Louisiana? If she came from Baltimore, she missed a whole lot of great opportunities to survive. Probably got on the boat, would be my guess. Like, I'm assuming the boat probably picked her up somewhere, like, up that way. And at this point, they've gotten to Louisiana. Between the gators and the snakes, he'll never make it out of this swamp. And then like 5 minutes later, he's like, I brought 6 of my friends to replace 6 of your friends.
We're all in wetsuits and we braved the Bayou.
They really did. Like, they all had the wetsuits on. It was like, man, these guys are legit. We ain't getting cold in this swamp.
It is Louisiana swamp water's cold?
I don't know. I mean, why? Isn't that typically why you wear those swimsuits, like dive
suits?
Yeah,
that's like when you're in the Pacific water.
Body?
Yeah.
Or maybe they were gator bite proof suits.
Maybe they were. Maybe they were Kevlar wetsuits.
I'll tell you, that bartender's a braver man than I am, because even if I was betraying my group and I got caught, I'm not jumping in that water.
Yeah.
like
all right, you guys got me. Just either arrest me or kill me. I'm not getting in that water.
Like, I love to kayak, but you mark my words, the day they're like, oh, we found an alligator in the Bannister River or the Dan River. Justin, my kayak's gonna be on Facebook Marketplace. Done. Ain't happening. Where in the U.S. would you go if the world fell apart with walkers? Here. I would just go here, but very rural. Like, there's so many places here where you could go and like no one would ever find you. There's so many houses and farms that are tucked off the road. And I mean, I tell you what, Matt, as far as somewhere around here, I'd just say we'd go like to my grandparents' land. Just like go past where the house is. Cause of course, anybody like there's houses leading up to it, but like no one's, if you went and set up camp down in like that bottom field where we go target shooting and stuff, like nobody's coming all the way out there. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would probably stay here because I don't want to go in. I mean, that's like the one advantage to living somewhere like here or Virgilina would have is the fact that there's like 8 citizens. So a zombie outbreak would just be mildly inconvenient.
Yeah. Oh
Stop.
man. Old
Stop.
world's got the zombie-itis again.
That's what our buddy Joey lives in Virgilina, and he one night this was God 15 years ago, we were walking to the little general store to get some drinks, and Joey's like, you know what? Virgilina would be a cool place for a zombie apocalypse. And I was like, all 7 of you guys would be
I
freaking
know.
terrifying. Oh no.
Stop, guys.
It's like everybody's like, my town sucks. There's nothing to do until the zombie apocalypse. Then you'll be thankful to live in a small town. Less people that want to eat you. Foxy and the Puppet Show. Hello, guys. It's been a while.
And the
What's up?
pipette.
I haven't seen that name on there in a while. And why do I feel like I know who that is? I mean, I know it's Five Nights at Freddy's reference, but I feel like I know who's behind that account. Let's see. All right, 1 or 2 more questions here, and then my butt's got to go to bed. Which group would you rather join, the Wolves or the Reapers?
Both equally as good.
Oh no, they both suck equally. Definitely the Reapers. At least they look
Yeah.
like they got to shower a little bit, and their guns actually had bullets in them. I mean, like all the Wolves had were knives and like one pistol that had no ammo in it. You know, so
Hey, I could throw it at you and hurt.
I'm gonna go with the guys that know how to rock a V formation.
It's former Spec Ops. I like to. I still always like kind of cringe like when he talks about his time in Afghanistan, how it changed him. I'm like, dude, like if you heard what happened a year ago with Afghanistan, you'd be pissed.
He'd be killing everybody's got scratches on their backs. No, I would still probably go with the Reaper, but I do like what you said though with like the Reapers, and I always wonder in like shows or like even I've been watching like all the old Alpha episodes today just for this episode, but it's like, you know, when they give each other hand signals and they're people, or they look at people and nod and they just know what to do. Like, do they discuss that? Like, all right, now we're gonna have their 2 guys back here in the back. Phil, Fred, y'all stand with them. I'm gonna go up front and I'm gonna demand that we get Lydia back. But if they don't give her back, then Margaret, I'm gonna look at you and nod, and you gonna look back to them and nod, and then I want y'all to not say a word, just walk them up to the front, and then wait. And then if I give you another signal, you take their masks off to reveal who they are.
Yes, they
It's
did
like,
all that exactly before that happened.
and then it's like the Reapers. Is he like, all right, gentlemen, the way we do this is we do a tight V formation
And just
everywhere we
walk
walk.
menacingly.
Halfway unzip your jacket, show the Pope starts
There,
getting a little homoerotic, expose them big, muscular, burly, manly scratch chests.
them tight man nipples.
Remember, they need to see our scratches are on the front, not the back.
Dude, I was trying to pee in a thorn bush and just I got snagged, man.
I don't know, Pope. I sat against a tree when I was taking a shit. I mean, the bark scratched my back.
That's
But
it.
no, I've always
You're
wondered,
baking.
do supervillains like have meetings with their cohorts just to like to like discuss these things ahead of time, like the walk formation, the signals.
Like it has to be like they have to have like some sort of like employee orientation or something.
No, it's like, you know, they'll do something to where they'll be like, they do this, and all of a sudden, like snipers start shooting or something. Do they like sit, you know, like what if in real life it's like you didn't discuss that with them beforehand, and they're like watching through the scopes and they're like, did he tell any of us like what to
Yeah,
do?
what are we supposed to do? I mean, I
He
don't
didn't.
know.
I know we're
I
on
thought you
Overwatch.
guys I thought you guys knew
He's
what was going on.
he's closing his fist. Is he like
Does he get like a hand
insulting the
cramp?
guy's wife or something? I mean, is that like a boob squeezing thing? What's he doing with his hand?
Dude, I don't know. I just clicked through the computer-based training when I was in orientation.
Welcome to Whisper Orientation. Now, we don't talk, we whisper. Hence the name The Whisperers. I'm Alpha. I'll be your new manager.
Think of
There's
me
certain hand
as a
signals and nods you're going to have to familiarize yourself with.
don't think of me as your boss. Think of me as your friend and family. Because at Whisper Incorporated, we're family.
unless you challenge the alpha, in which case
And
I'll
then I will kill
decapitate
you. Because I killed my dad when I was 9.
as I killed my daughter's dad just to keep the tradition going.
I like killing pappies.
I love killing pappies. But no,
And
I've always wondered that.
I love mopping steamboats.
That's gotta suck. Like the apocalypse ends and someone still decides all you're worth is scrubbing the deck and setting the silverware. I don't
Listen,
want to
if
lie.
there's
It'd be
two
like,
things I love in life is
I'd be like,
killing
dude,
pappies
I
and
was
mopping boats. And I'm
like,
all out
dude,
of
I was an
mopping boats.
engineer before the apocalypse. Like, oh, he's smart. He could. I'd be in there messing the boat up. They'd be like, oh my god, we've got a breach in this hole and this water pump isn't working. I'd be like, you need to connect the doodle of flinging to the flux capacitor over there. That'll get her up and running. We are literally
Wasn't that what
sinking now.
Kamiko's or not Kamiko? I always get those two mixed up from The Boys.
You get Kamiko mixed up with who? No, Kamiko. Yumiko is from The Walking Dead. Kamiko is from The Boys.
Yumiko. Yumiko's brother, like he was a doctor, wasn't he? And he like wanted to be a baker.
Yeah. I'm tired of blood and guts. I want sugar and syrup.
No,
I would have certainly lied. If the apocalypse ever happened, you best believe like I was
the federal booby inspector
or engineer or like a secret operative, something cool that keeps me from like getting into the apocalypse. And it's like, oh man, I'm ready to help defend my camp. And they're like, you're on clothes washing duty. Damn it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but we looked at your resume and we reviewed your previous occupations and we just don't feel that there are any use here for any of those. So you're gonna be cleaning the latrines. No,
zombie bloodstains are a bastard to clean out too.
Zombie bloodstains and cholera, not good. But yeah, so that's how we'll wrap this one up. The if you find yourself in the apocalypse, lie about your previous occupation unless you actually do something useful to zombie apocalypse survival. Otherwise,
and remember, keep your daddy killing to a minimum.
Well, it's a tradition. It's called tradition, honey. Have you heard of it? Sometimes
we got to break the cycle of tradition.
So don't kill your daddy and have a good night.
And
but
there really is no need to wear wetsuits in the Missouri River.
In the hot Mississippi, Louisiana, swamps. Yeah, you're probably good without the wetsuit. If anything, that somehow it probably makes you look like more of a prey for the alligators.
We're gonna make some room tonight.
Well, Matt, you hang tight. Everybody else, we will see y'all next Sunday. Matt. Will we see them
I'm
next
so
Sunday?
sorry. We will. I truly, sincerely apologize. I did not mean to doze off like that. I woke up in such a panic. I'm like, oh fuck.
You woke up. I guess that's all that matters at the end of the day. But I'm Justin.
Metadubs.
And with the Podcasting Dead, we'll see you next week. More retro reviews coming this week. See ya.